Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lalit Rao, and today I have with me a very special guest, Mr. Werner Herzog, all the way from Los Angeles. Mr. Werner Herzog, we can use many adjectives to describe him, and one which I would readily use is one of the most legendary filmmaker, one of the greatest filmmaker alive in the world today. Mr. Herzog, thank you very much for giving me a chance to speak to you. Mr. Herzog, I would like to start a small talk with you by asking a simple question. How do you start a film project? Basically, what comes to your mind? Is it an idea or a concept which comes in mind? It takes shape in mind, and then you start to work on it.
No, it's much more direct. When I make a film, I would never start writing a screenplay, for example, unless I see a whole film in front of my eyes.
Yeah.
So and then once I see a film, it becomes fairly easy to write, and this is the reason why I write very fast, because I only have to copy what I see
Mm-hmm.
and what I hear from as if I saw a film on the screen.
Mm-hmm. So writing.
But I'm not into the business of developing a character and crafting a screenplay. It goes much faster and much more with greater urgency and intensity only, and that's why I just follow the whatever comes at me. It's almost like a home invasion.
Mm-hmm.
And I just deal with whatever film is coming at me.
Mhm. Okay. And Mr. Herzog, how do you see yourself in Hollywood? Because you are a German director of German nationality living in Los Angeles, which is, again, it's not Hollywood because you are making films in Hollywood. But does the fact that you live in Los Angeles and even though work for Hollywood, does it make a difference in your creativity?
No, I can't say that I work for Hollywood because apparently you are talking about a definition of the major studios and the kind of films that come from the studio system, and I've never been into this.
Yeah.
However, there are points where the film industry has a common borderline with me once in a while.
Yeah.
Distribution, for example, or a film like Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans, is something which is marginally related to Hollywood. But you see, the reason why I'm in Los Angeles is very simple. I'm married in the United States, and my wife lives in Los Angeles, so that's the reason.
Okay. Mr. Herzog, my next question is a bit tricky in the sense that it again concerns Hollywood. And in the past also, many European filmmakers have tried to make their mark in Hollywood. So my question is that, do you think that Hollywood has accepted you in some form or another?
In a way, yes, because, for example, there's hardly any actor who does not really who wouldn't like to work with me. So they have seen my films, they know I'm good with actors. And so that side is fairly easy for me to deal with. Otherwise, you see, there's a fairly pleasant relationship. Hollywood doesn't need me, but I do not need Hollywood either.
Okay.
And in this situation, all of a sudden there are contacts that are very easy to handle.
Mhm. Okay. But Mr. Herzog, the name and fame which you've got, if we can put it that way, you have got it through German cinema. You started what is called New German Cinema Movement. You were very much an active part of it with your colleagues like Fassbinder, Alexander Kluge. But recently you have not made any film in Germany. So it again depends on the subject. If you find a subject...
It shouldn't make you nervous that I'm not making films in Germany. I'm the one who has never left his culture.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter if I'm shooting a film in Antarctica or a film in Thailand.
Yeah.
Or a film in the jungle in Amazonia.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. They still have a cultural identity that I have never left.
Okay.
So, and it shouldn't make you nervous that, for example, a science fiction film is made in outer galaxy,
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
It means the director has not left his culture.
Yeah.
He only has left his planet.
True. It's something like Wolfgang Peterson, even though he's from Germany and he's very well based in USA like you,
Yeah.
and he's making wonderful films. So the question of German identity does not come in picture.
No, for Peterson it is different. I think his dream, as I interpret
Yeah.
right, his dream from early on was to make films within the definition of Hollywood.
Okay.
And for example, Emmerich,
Yeah. Roland Emmerich.
Roland Emmerich,
Yeah.
who made most notably Independence
Day. Yeah.
he, from his first films on, was aiming for cinema of Hollywood.
Mhm.
And you have to be completely within this definition. You cannot be halfway in with one leg into Hollywood and the other leg outside
yeah.
Germany.
Yeah.
If you want to do Hollywood, you have to do it 100%.
Yeah. With
And,
utmost
and I think
dedication.
Emmerich and Peterson are doing that, and
Yeah.
they are fulfilling their own dream. Apparently, I think I read it correctly.
Mhm. Okay.
But my dream has never been to make Hollywood movies.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
But if I have points where our paths cross, in such a case, I have no problem with Hollywood either. And of course, the film industry has created extraordinary cultural products.
So you,
our
so-
collective dreams, so to speak.
Yeah. So, Mr. Herzog, if I read your thoughts well, you intend to say that it all depends on filmmaker's integrity, how he wants to portray his vision. Nationality or Hollywood or any such label does not matter.
No, I think it's simply a different concept of the work that they're doing, and of course, although Wolfgang Peterson and I are both German, our vision is going in different directions. Fine, yes, there's nothing wrong about it.
Mhm. Okay. And Mr. Herzog, I've seen your fiction films, I've seen your documentary films, and I find it funny that in your fiction film there are documentary cinema elements. For example, Wodi Grunen, Amazon Träumen,
Yeah.
wonderful film, 1985, made in Australia. I think it has a lot of documentary cinema elements, and then your documentary films have fiction film elements. So how do you strike a balance between these two different genres of cinema?
Oh, it comes easy to me. I'm a storyteller, let's face it, and
Okay.
I have no problem that I'm crossing between different mythologies, or that I'm crossing between fiction films and documentaries. The borderlines are always blurred.
Mhm. And Mr. Herzog, let's go back in time. Let's go back to that time when you were working in a steel factory, and you apparently did a lot of. For example, you stole some camera. I don't know. This is all what we have read. All youngsters, you know. My question is, what kind of problems did you face when you were making your initial films? Because I'm sure you must have faced a lot of problems, like all people.
Well, for me in particular, I could say I was, for the world outside, I was way too young to start. I was 16, 17 or so when I started with my first projects, and of course the world was not really accepting me. They thought this was kindergarten, trying to make movies. But let's face it, for everyone who tries to make films, he or she will immediately find the obstacles and the difficulties, but it doesn't really matter. We should not complain. I'm not in the culture of complaint.
Mhm.
And today, access to the tools is much easier. With a small camera, you can shoot a film, professional film. You can edit on your own laptop. And today, when young filmmakers complain, I say, no, you have no real right to complain. just roll up your sleeves and do it.
Okay.
There's no excuse now.
There's no excuse now. Well, yeah. Well, that brings me precisely to my next question, which is again related to money and technology. But then, Mr. Herzog, in today's world, money and technology are readily available. But what we lack is, again, there's a paucity of good scripts. Do you agree? That in the past we did not have money in abundance nor technology, but there were good scripts, good ideas.
No, there was a lot of technology in early years. When you look back at Fritz Lang's Metropolis,
yes.
Look back at the first King Kong,
Yeah.
and on and on.
Yeah.
Of course, always
Yeah.
technology also and advancing. But you are pointing at a general problem of
Yes.
filmmaking nowadays, because the big Hollywood films function when there's a lot of special effects, a lot of action, a
Yeah.
lot of star quality in it, big
Yeah.
stars.
Yeah.
And over all this, there has been a little bit of neglect of real storytelling.
Yes. Yes.
So we do not see a film like Casablanca these days.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
And everybody feels it.
Yeah.
And it's not only the studios, it's the agents, the media, the actors,
Yes.
the producers.
Yeah.
Everyone senses that there's a deficit of storytelling. And probably this is one of the reasons why I'm accepted, because I'm into storytelling.
Yeah. Okay. And Mr. Herzog, could you please describe briefly what led you to create Rogue Film School again?
Rogue Film School.
And how much of work have you already done on promoting Rogue Film School?
It's not, I've never promoted, I just put it out on the internet and thousands of people answered. Now, what happens is, in the last decades, more and more young people are coming at me like a huge avalanche,
Yeah.
wanting to learn from me or wanting to work with me, and I try to give an organized answer. And I do it as sporadically, very sporadically, as long weekend seminars.
Okay.
So, it is just an answer to a huge demand that has come at me.
Mm-hmm. And what's the selection criteria? How do you select these students? On what basis?
Well, I ask the students to describe who they are briefly, and I ask them to send in a short film that they have made.
Okay.
And I'm the one who looks at every single application. It's every single film, and there are always very good surprises. And some films, or sometimes you can, just from 15 lines of written self-description, you can tell the person has never read a book. They cannot articulate a coherent thought in 15 lines in 3-4 sentences.
Mm-hmm.
So you know these people do not read, and this is one of the big problems. And I keep saying to everyone, read, otherwise you'll never be a filmmaker.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mr. Herzog, my last question concerns International Film Festival of Kerala and the audience in Kerala. What is the Lifetime Achievement Award at International Film Festival of Kerala, and the enthusiasm of people, especially for your films, because many youngsters and of course the whole lot of old generation, people like me, who started to learn German watching your films, what does it all this mean to you?
Well, it is an honor, but at the same time I keep thinking, a Lifetime Achievement Award is also some sort of an embarrassment, because I'm not done with filmmaking.
Yes.
See, it's not that I have long finished, and this year I'm in my 3rd film already.
Okay.
So I'm not done
Okay.
with filmmaking yet. But I like to be here because it has such an intense cultural identity that you see here of this festival.
Yeah.
And a huge interest. I've never seen an audience of 6,000 or so in any
Big festival.
screening.
Yeah.
I don't know yesterday how many people were there, 5, 6, 7,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't even estimate anymore.
Yeah.
And I've never seen it anywhere.
Okay. Yeah.
And you see in some of my early films I was invited because I had a good review in Frankfurt or so, and they invited me to come, and I arrive at the theater and there's 7 people there.
Oh.
And here in Kerala I walk on out there and there are 7,000.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
Well,
amazing, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Herzog, for giving me once in a lifetime opportunity to talk to you, because I never imagined that you would be coming all the way from Los Angeles and talking to Indian journalists and Indian media people. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.